Hello, everyone. It's Joe Carmel with Quilts-by-Carmel, and I just wanted to stop in and do a quick video on how to sell your tops, your quilt tops, or your quilts online. And at the end, I'm going to walk through listing the quilt that's on the wall behind me. So if you'd like to learn how I do it, stay tuned, okay? I am first going to go over the top 10 considerations I think a person should at least, and this is just the beginning, there might be plenty more for you to think about. And if you do have some comments, please let me know because I'm very new to this, but I'm truly enjoying what I'm doing. So let's get started. Let's go over, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go over the top 10 considerations that I think a person should consider before selling their quilt tops online. Okay, we're almost ready. There we go. All righty. So let's sell our quilt tops online or quilts. All right. First consideration. All right, do you love what you do? Do you do what you love? Then why? Why are you selling your quilt? Is it for profit? Do you want to start a business or do you already have a business? Is it to raise funds for charity, to donate those funds? Or is it like me, to buy more fabric and to keep my hubby happy? So I have money going out for the fabric and now I have it coming back in. Number two, what's the value of your quilt top? That's something you've got to determine. Will you ever make it again? Is it a irreplaceable or antique quilt? Is it grandpa's ties or your favorite tulip pink fabric that is just hard to get? So you have to determine the value of that quilt top. Number three, you gotta count the costs. You gotta figure out what was the bare minimum to make this quilt. How much did the fabric cost? Are you gonna charge for thread? What was the quality of the piecing? Is it your first one or is it an applique or paper piece? What's the cost of the pattern? And how much time did it take to create? So you gotta count the costs. Here is my example of the quilt behind me. It's called, it was, sorry, the fabric I got from Missouri Star Quilt Company is called Midnight Rainforest, is by Island Boutiques. And I paid $20.99 on their daily deal. I also paid $5 for shipping and about $1.57 or 67 for taxes. So to get this fabric to my front door was $27. So I'm going to start there. That's my starting point. And then am I going to charge for this pattern? It's a pattern I bought at Jordan Fabrics and I downloaded. It was only $9 and I've already used it before. So will I charge the customer? Maybe $1 or $2 because I plan on using this for my personal use as well. The background fabric on here is a charcoal grunge and I love it. But I also used it on my very first king quilt that I made recently. It was 100 by 100. So I just used the scraps, the leftovers to make this quilt. So I'm not going to add that into my cost. I don't charge for thread. I don't think I use enough thread to charge for it. And it took only 3 to 4 hours. I chain pieced it. It was fun. I took it on vacation for fun. So I don't know, maybe $1 or $2. Um, I said $1 or $2, maybe, I don't know, $5 or $10 I would charge for this. But that's me, and that's my reasoning. You may want to charge maybe $20 an hour because it's the value of the time and the applique and whatever you've done, the paper piecing. That's up to you, but this is just me. So I would say my basic cost for this quote is about $30. I'm going to list it probably about 65 because I really like it and I want someone to buy who's really going to love it. Um, and that's just how I think though, okay? That's my thinking, not yours. Number four, shipping costs. They are going up. How much are you paying for supplies? How how much does a package weigh? Are you shipping to outside of the US? I'm not yet. I work full time. Don't see it happening just yet. Maybe in the future though. And then if you're using the labels through the platform like eBay or Etsy, they will charge a additional $2 to $3 just for that label. So what I do is I go to the mailbox. I go and do priority mail, and I charge $7, um, a flat rate of $7 to my customers, and then I know it arrives in 3 to 5 days, and I get a tracking number, and I love that. Now it costs $9.65 to send it priority mail, but I eat that cost. I think that I should at least give that customer a discount on the mailing and the shipping, um, because they're kind enough to shop from me. So it's just my way of kind of giving back to them and saying thank you for purchasing an item. Something else you have to think about, and that is import fees. If you are going to incorporate, are you buying fabric directly from Africa or Indonesia? These batiks particularly were made in Bali, but Island Batiks kind of paid for that. So I'm not going to pass that cost on to the customer. Number five, it always makes me smile at this one. Of course, you can see I used the Doug Lico pattern again, and you just want to upload some very nice photos, okay? You just, I would definitely suggest taking photos outside. Um, they're more vibrant. This quilt in particular cost about $25 to make. I listed it for 55. I didn't think it would go. However, this old cape fabric, people were picking it up like hotcakes. There was a bidding war and it went for quite a bit more. I was quite surprised, pleasantly surprised, but I was surprised that it went for that much. All right, number six, include a detailed description of your listing. Let folks know what the size of the quilt is. Is it a baby? Is it a tabletop? Or is it a king? What size is a king to you? 100 by 100 or 100 by 115 or 112? Um, the color of the fabric is important. Some people will put blue and white in the blue and white quilt top in the search engine, or they'll put their favorite designer like Tula Pink or Kaif. And I think that's what happened to that last one I just showed you. And it sold. Also, I like to add ideals on how to quilt the top or how to use the top or who's it for. Is it a baby quilt? Would it be great for a man in your life? Those type of things you want to add. Number seven, one of the most important things for me is to be honest. This is a quilt top I made when I first learned how to bind and machine bind. And I didn't do a great job. Okay, so I took pictures and showed it on SD. Also, let the buyer know if the quilt needs borders or needs to be squared up. I do, because I don't want them to get a surprise. I want to be completely honest on what I'm selling. And then if there's a hiccup in your shipping, if you're out of town and you can't put it in the mail within 2 to 3 days, let the buyer know. It's only fair to them. All right, we're almost done. We're at 8. Be aware of hidden fees. Yes, it's free to list on these platforms. However, there's usually fees assessed to manage the sale, market, or promote, and or transfer funds. So you just have to be aware, and you can do that by either downloading or printing that website's policy. Just know better. I recently sold a quilt top for over $300. I was super excited. And then I realized eBay took almost a little over 10%, and that kind of shocked me. But I did not read that policy, so that was on me. Um, so I would just definitely suggest that you download it so you can refer to it before you list. All right. Also, eBay recently increased from 99 cents to $1.49 to promote quilts and, or I'll say items because it's not just quilts. And that's a 50% increase. That was a lot to me. So what I've done is I have just made sure that I only list or promote certain items. I don't do all items anymore. And then are you going to pass these fees on to the consumer? So you have to consider those things. Number 9, really important, open a separate bank account from your household account. And I have 3 reasons, but I'm sure there's quite a few others. It'll be a lot easier to identify your profit and your expenses, okay? And number 2, you make all your purchases, supplies, fabric, notions, anything that you are doing to make these quilts, you can make it from that account. And then finally, those deposits that come into your account, you can set aside money for your state taxes. If you live in California, like I do, there are state taxes, and I have to be accountable for them. Okay. Number 10, and most importantly, don't stress. Enjoy the process making the quilt tops. If it doesn't sell, it's not the end of the world. You get to keep the quilt. I get to keep the quilt. Do you want to donate it or gift it to someone? It's not the end of the world. Stay positive and have fun. All righty. Here are the platforms I use. Oh, let me see. There we go. And I'm sorry, I have a double window, but I also use Facebook Marketplace. I'm sorry, I don't use it, but it's available. OfferUp and Craigslist. I don't use those platforms. It's a little risky for me. I don't want any people to come to my house, or I don't want to go meet them elsewhere. All right, there we go. So now I'm gonna stop and list the quilt, okay? I'm gonna stop sharing this and then we're gonna go to how I list a quilt on eBay, okay? So let's walk through it really quickly. Let me bring it up real quickly. There we go. All right, so here I'm gonna click. Now you'll have to create a sign-on to sell on eBay. Or and you need a bank account for eBay if you want to sell because they need to deposit it. If you sell over 600 or $600 to $800, they are going to request either your business license information or your social security number. So just know that going in. It's only free up to like $600 or $800. I think it's a year or a 12-month period. I'm not sure. You should definitely look at the policy if you're going to sell high ticket items, okay? But here's my eBay, and now I'm going to go down to selling. All right, and let's look at my active. I sold most of them, but I think I have one active. Oh yeah, I do. Here it is. It's what I call the African Shuffle Quilt Top. I've listed it for $175, and I know most folks will think, "Oh, that's a lot of money for a quilt top." There's a couple of reasons I did it. Number one, I used 30 different fabrics in this quilt top, African fabrics. Okay, so these are a little more expensive. Also, I love this quilt. I am okay if it doesn't sell. I think the cheapest I will take for it is probably 150. If I don't get 150, then I will go ahead and quilt it and keep it for myself because I just love this quilt top. It's my second African themed quilt that I've made, and it's just something that I value. So that's how I think. some people won't agree and just won't even look. But as of date, I've had 13 views. So somebody's interested in it. So that's a good thing. All right, so let's go back and let's list an item. All right, so I would show you my sold, but to show you my sold items, they have names on there, and I'm not okay with sharing anyone's, even their last name. I don't think that's a good idea. So let's go to sell an item. All right. So the first thing it's going to ask you to do is list the item. All right. And then it's going to ask you, tell us what you're selling. And I am going to put an unfinished batik quilt top. All right. Let's see what comes up. All right. Now it's going to ask you to choose a category. I always choose a category of quilting because that's what I do. Okay. It gives you other suggestions, but that's the one I like. All right. There we go. So it's quilted. Now the brand. So I could do homemade or handmade, either one, because I quilted them. But I'm going to look to see if Island Batiks is on here. I don't see that it is. Yeah, they got Northcott, they've got Robert Kaufman, but I do not see Island Boutique. So I am gonna just say homemade. That's what I'm gonna land on for this one, okay? MPN number, don't know what it is, don't know if it applies, so I always put don't apply. Modified. I have not modified this fabric. I haven't dyed it. I haven't done anything to modify it. So I put no, and that's how I understand that question. So now I'm going to continue. I like my listing unfinished quilt top. If I didn't, I could go up there and change it. But I'm going to continue without a match. It's new. I got this fabric from a Missouri Star. It was in a package. It's not used. You would choose used, in my opinion, this is my opinion, if you say they're used men's shirts or their t-shirt from that you got from the Goodwill. So those are used items to me that you could actually list online in the quilting world. Or if it's a used quilt, that's another thought. All right, so then it'll take me to this page and it just has me walk through the listing and how it's gonna look. Unfinished batik quilt top is in a new condition. We've already determined that it is unfinished, it's homemade, and it's not a custom bundle, okay? I could put Bali. Let's see if Bali comes up. Yeah, that's the only information I have. So I'm going to leave that blank. Okay. Now I have to add a couple of photos. So that's what I'm going to do. For me, I'm on my Mac. It does not allow me to add photos easily going through my computer here. So I'll click it. But to get to my photos, it just doesn't work well. So I'm going to cancel and I'm just going to drop the photos in really quickly. See, gonna move this over. Bear with me just a couple of seconds here. I have 3 photos that I want to move over. Let's see if this works. All right, there they are. I love how that turned out. So I'm happy with that. Next, I want to get a more detailed description, okay? And I think the bigger the description, the better. So let's go in here and I am going to change this. Let's see if I can just grab this. Here we go. So let me see if I can. If this works. Unfinished batik quilt top made using midnight rainforest batiks in beautiful hues of green and blue and background of charcoal grunge. It measures 59 by 64 and would be a great gift for anyone who loves the islands or darker colors. Just add, let me correct that, batting and backing, and then quilt your heart out. So I say again that this is not a finished quilt top. I don't want anybody to misunderstand that. So that's what I do. Now we have to price it. So for me, the base was $30. I really love this quilt top. I am going to change this. Someone for me to let it go, I'm going to say $65. That is what it's going to take to get me to sell this. Now, you could go more options and you can change this part. You can allow offers and different things like that. That's not for me because I know the value of it. Um, and you can change the auction duration too. I didn't really realize that, but I like 7 days. You can also put the option in for somebody who just wants to buy it. So you can have both options. But with the buy it option, it has to be 30% more than the bid. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to put in the wrong price and then I can show you what happens. Okay. All right. So next we have to go to the shipping recommendation or shipping cost. Sorry. I change it. I do not use this. I put buyer's pay and I charge them $7. If it's a baby quilt, it'd only be $5. I can send it pretty easily. I don't do local pickups. Okay. And then you could donate to charity if you wanted to, but I'm okay. It even offers to let them to do the work by lowering your bid 5% each time it's listed. Um, I'm not willing to right now. Maybe if it doesn't sell and I wanted to resell it, I could do that. But I'm not okay with that at this time. Um, I wanted to sell at the price that I listed it because, sorry for all the ums. I wanted to sell for that price because I really like it. And so let's try. So I've filled all of this out and we're going to try to see if it lists. It shouldn't. It should give me an error. Oh no, it worked. That's funny. I guess I was 30% over. So I was able to list it. Now is asking, do I want to boost it for $1.49? So this is what I was talking about. The 99 cents, now it's gone up to $1.49. I'm going to say I don't want to right now. And that's it. It's online. So let's go see what happened. All right. Oh, here it is. View listing. You can look at it directly. Here's my listing, $65. If you want to purchase it, you can purchase it for $85, $7 shipping. And it should get there by the 24th or 27th of this month. However, if you purchase from me, I ship within 2 to 3 days. Okay, so just know that. So there's the listing. That worked out really great. I'm excited by that. So let's go back to my eBay. Oh, let's go back to where's my sales? Oh, I'm sorry. Gotta move this so I can get to it. Back to my eBay. All right. And sales. And let's look at an overview. Will it show me? Yes. So it's going to show you my 90-day total. So in the last 3 months, this is what I've sold. There's 2 active. Here's the one we just did it. And oh, I'm sorry. Here they are. All right. So there we go. Then if you go down lower, you can see feedback from your people that you sold and things like that. All right. So that was fun, and I hope I explained it okay. I'm going to stop sharing this now. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment for me. I would love to go ahead and explain it to you. If you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear. And And then if you want me to do an Etsy listing, let me know because I have some quilts that are ready to post. I just haven't done them. I do the shipping a little differently because they're quilts and they weigh heavier. So I do the shipping a little different when I ship my quilt tops. Okay. All righty. So the last thing I want to do is I just want to show you a quick little video of my sales, my eBay sales for 2022. If you're up for it. Okay, let me share my screen. There we go. All right. Here we go. And let me pull it over a little. There we go. And I have a little slideshow that I want to show you. All right. And some of my quilts, I will use a fat quarter, no, a layer cake, and I'll make two quilts out of that and sell both of them, or keep one and sell the other. I use a lot of layer cakes, pre-cuts, I will say. Okay, jelly rolls, panels, yeah, older quilts that I just have not finished, baby quilts, Irish chain. There's some of my Tula that's sold. Yeah. So you just have to be conscious of your how much are you spending on your background fabrics too. Okay. Almost done. I think there's just a couple more. That was a pretty one. Log cabin. Yep. And these are my ones that I had on point. And two of my favorites recently, this summer and the most current ones. All right. I think that's it. Oh, this one I plan to list shortly. Flapjacks already sold. All right. So there they are. I'm super excited about how it's going. I can't wait. So when I retire, I would really love to do this full time. If you have questions, again, let me know. Please like, comment, and or subscribe. I would love to hear from you and share anything that I might not know. I would love to um, get more information on how I can do things better. So thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Thank you, Quilt family. I am appreciative of you.